Hey guys, welcome to part 1 of my 3-part series on using cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, in music therapy. In this series, I'll share with you some music therapy interventions using CBT, so stay tuned. So in this video, we're going to focus on thoughts. And I've done a few videos on reframing challenging thoughts in music therapy, so you can check those out in the description if you want. Today, I'm going to share with you a songwriting intervention to address negative thinking. So before we start the intervention, I always like to go into a discussion on why this could be helpful and what we're going to be talking about, and a little bit of psychoeducation around the concepts. In cognitive behavioral therapy, there's a model called the cognitive triangle, which demonstrates the interconnectedness between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, showing how changes in one can affect all the others. In part 1 today, we're going to be focusing on thoughts. Here's an example of how thoughts can change our feelings and behaviors. Let's say the situation is a dog comes running up to you off the street. If you're scared of dogs, what might your thoughts be? Oh no, he's gonna attack me, or this is dangerous. What would your feelings be? Scared, worried, concerned? What would your action be? Run away. Now let's say you like dogs. The same situation, totally different outcomes. Your thoughts might be, aw dog, he's so cute. Your feelings would be happy or excited, and your behavior might be to pet the dog. So you can see how working with the thoughts about dogs can change actions and feelings around the dog. This is obviously a very simple example, but this is happening all throughout our day. And since changing one point on the triangle will change the other points on the triangle, technically you can start anywhere on the triangle, but today we're going to start with thoughts. So in part 2 of our intervention, we're going to start coming up with some lyrics for our songs. So a good structure might be to have a verse with some fill-in-the-blank questions, a chorus, and then a second verse with fill-in-the-blank. In verse 1, we could start by exploring and identifying negative thoughts with some fill-in-the-blank statements. So you can use prompts like, when I think about blank, I feel blank. And then you can write out a chorus focusing on thoughts or reframing thoughts or the power of thoughts, so whatever you want, something on that topic. And then in verse 2, you can focus on the challenging and reframing of the negative thoughts from verse 1. So an example of a fill-in-the-blank statement in verse 2 might be, even though I think blank, I know blank. So let's try this together. Verse 1, when I think about blank, I feel blank. What's something you would put there? Maybe it's something that's been on your mind lately, or something that you've been struggling with. Maybe a recurring thought you've been having. An example might be, when I think about my future, I feel overwhelmed. And then in verse 2, we're focusing on reframing or challenging that thought. So the sentence might be, even though I think blank, I know blank. So what might you put in that sentence? It kind of reframes or challenges what the first verse said. So I might write, even though I think the future is too much to handle, I know that I can go one step at a time. Hi guys, this is Future editing the video, Leela. I wanted to mention that I did include a free handout of fill in the blank, like a whole fill in the blank song with verse 1, chorus, and verse 2 in my description if you want to check that out. I've also included a whole structured session plan with handouts of the cognitive triangle and the lyric handout and process questions if you want to check that out as well. Okay, back to the video. Part 3, now we're actually creating the musical part of the song. One thing I like to do in songwriting is to offer 2 different chord progressions, 2 different picking or strumming styles, maybe 1 strumming, 1 picking, and then 2 different melodies over the chords. You can use piano, you can use guitar, you can use ukulele. I'm gonna use my ukulele. So you could say, which chord progression do you like better? We can start with this one. Or do you like this one? And then you can offer maybe 1 strumming. Say they pick the first one. Or we can try style 2. And then you would offer melodies over that. Let's say they pick the first style. Or we could try this melody. Alright, so now we have the whole structure of the song. We have verse 1, chorus, verse 2, filled in the fill-in-the-blanks, we have the chords and melody. Then you would just go ahead and sing the songs. So here's an example of what the song might sound like. When I think of my a few more lines kind of like that.
Thoughts only mean something if I make them mean something. Don't always choose the thoughts I see, but I can choose what I believe. Even though I think it's too much, I know I can do one day at a time.
And if you want to do this on your own and write out your own lyrics, that's something that you can keep with you and hold on to, read through every now and then. And there's something about adding the musical element to it that just makes it more memorable. It gets stuck in your head. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. There we go. That's my CBT songwriting exercise and using music therapy. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I post videos every Friday on music therapy, expressive arts, mental health stuff, and counseling, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.